Live.
Calling all Spice Chicks fans, you've been asking for it, and here I am. Now keep in mind, I am no movie star, but you've been asking for recipes and I'm here to deliver. So we're going to start out with the holidays because it's that time of year. And today's piece is the turkey, the center of attention for every holiday meal. Now what I want you to do is the preparation items that I've listed below, have them well prepared before you start to work on the bird. Second thing, please take off any rings and place them in a very safe place until we're done, because they can tear the skin of the bird while we're working with it. Now, most people put spice on top of a turkey, which I can rub sage on my arm all day long. It won't make the underside of my arm taste any better. So what we're going to do is we're going to infuse a turkey today. I'm going to show you how to do it. Very, very simple. Start with a paring knife and start peeling back the skin of the bird. Cut gently where you need to, but primarily use your hands. Push up your sleeves when you're doing this because we're going to get a little bit messy. This is a patience endeavor. Try to work down to the legs. Of course, you've already pulled out your pin feathers, you've washed your bird. Now here I'm getting stuck, so I'm going to pull up the skin a little bit, use my paring knife, and gently, gently, gently cut the membranes in between. Now the reason for this is we're going to rub our herbed butter on top of the meat in between the skin. Every time you get stuck, just gently use the paring knife and cut toward the meat, not toward the skin. You don't want to tear the skin on this. No one wants a turkey that looks like it's been carved up, right? So gradually work it. Try to get it down to the leg. And this part is very, very challenging. As I said, this is a measure in patience. So once we have this done, we're going to take the herb butter that's in the recipe, which is 1/2 stick of unsalted butter and 3 tablespoons of our rosemary orange Spice Tricks blend. And people are like, why so much? Well, we're dealing with an 18-pound piece of meat. We have to compensate for that much meat. Now, you don't want to go into the wing area. You just want to go into the breast and into the leg. Now, if you're using a turkey that is self-basting, which I highly recommend for this, because we're not brining, we are seasoning. And it's very different. Now, if you're brining a turkey, you can't use a self-basting because the turkey will actually turn to goo in the brine. You have to get a fresh one for that. But this is a great recipe for those on low sodium diets, the heart patients, the people with hypertension that you're considering, and also it's a new and innovative way to look at Thanksgiving dinners. Let's face it, Thanksgiving dinner can get a little boring. It has traditions, yet we need to innovate our traditions sometimes and do something new. Now, what I have here is 1/2 stick of unsalted butter and 3 tablespoons of rosemary orange blend. What I'm going to do is gradually work this under the skin. This is messy, but it is well worth it. You'll love it. Down into the leg and the thigh as much as possible without tearing the skin. Work it into the bird. And what this does is moisturize the breast, which tends to get a little bit dry. While you're roasting. Cover the bird well. Clumps are fine. Don't worry about it. All of this is going to melt. So don't be shy. Put this in as much as possible. Now, if you're left with a leftover butter, you can melt it and pour it over the legs and the wing sections that you haven't been able to cover. Now that we have our butter in, what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange and lemon sections and gently work them in under the skin. This is going to make a beautiful bird when it's done roasting. I like to take the orange pieces into the biggest areas and the lemon pieces into the smaller areas. Oh, I have a naked spot. Work this in every area that you can. Now I chose a low citrus or a low sodium diet because so many people that we have over for the holidays are suffering from hypertension, heart disease, several ailments that can't tolerate a high sodium diet. Now take into consideration that the average American takes in about 10,000 milligrams of sodium per day. A holiday meal can add up to about 20,000 milligrams. And people on blood pressure medication and who have suffered heart disease can only take in about 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day. So we want to cut that down for grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, aunts, uncles that might be suffering from this. Okay, so we have our lemons and our oranges in place. And what we're going to do now is take our herbs. I have a handful of rosemary and a handful of thyme. I'm going to go ahead and gently insert those into the cavity, kind of breaking them up to make a nice bed in the turkey. I have bulbs of garlic that have been sliced in half to expose all the cloves. I'm going to shove those in, alternating with limes, lemons, and oranges. And the reason for this is that turkey is so thick that we need to infuse from the cavity and from the skin down. Just keep working this in as you go. Shove in another bulb of garlic. Super simple. Super simple, super fresh, and delicious. You'll love it. Now, people say, I like to stuff my bird. I want stuffing my bird, blah, blah, blah. You know, scientific studies have been done on stuffing birds. There is no way to get the salmonella and bacteria out of the stuffing while you're roasting a bird. Even if you burned the bird, there's no way to do it. I'm going to show you in another series how to make a gorgeous garlic bread stuffing with several types of mushrooms and onions, celery, and sausage, to where you won't miss the stuffing of the bird. Okay, it looks like this is quite well done. What we're going to do now is take and tie our legs. Like I told you, this is quite messy. So what I like to do is rope one leg and then rope the other and then pull them together. Now your hands are going to be quite slick, but this is really all we need to do to captivate the legs here. And as you'll notice, I tuck the wings behind the neck to keep them from burning. Now we're going to take the 3 onions, small or 2 medium, and create a nice bed for this beautiful bird to lay on. And then gently lift it in. You're going to roast this bird at 350 for the recommended time due to size, which is listed on the package. And that's pretty much it. Salt and pepper if wanted. Wash your hands, put your rings back on, and we're ready to go.